guys, this is Smithy. Welcome to my channel. If you guys are new here, welcome. And if you guys have already been subscribed to the channel, thank you so much for subscribing. Today, we're going to do a Valentine's Day look. What I basically did is especially for the eye look, I really wanted to duplicate the Natasha Denona's Mini Crush palette. So I use my Natasha Denona's Mini Love palette as well as the Coral palette. And I think I've achieved a very similar look to the Mini Crush. So if you guys want to see how I achieved this look, then please keep on watching. So let's begin. I already did my brows using my e.l.f. Precise Brow Pencil. And this is in the shade Cool Brown. So let's move on. I'm super excited, but I have no idea what I'm going to do. So let's prime our face first. For the primer, I'm first going to take my Tatcha Silk Canvas Liquid Primer. And I'm going to put that all across my face. I just have like a sample version of it. So let's finish that. It's a very moisturizing but pore filling primer. So I really like that. Do you guys have any plans for Valentine's Day? Do you celebrate it? I know a lot of us are still staying indoors. By the way, oh my God, I did get the virus. It was not that great. I am actually recording after, I would say, 3 weeks now. First 2 weeks, I was super tired and it is very on and off. There was no major symptoms, I would say. But when the tiredness kicks in, it's bad. It's really, really bad. One day you'll think that, oh, I think it's gone. It's just gone. I feel absolutely perfect. Most of the times it was afternoons for me. By the time 12:31 hits, when there's maximum amount of work, you have to make lunch, you have to put the kids for nap. That's when it hits the most. And I'm like, oh my God, I cannot walk. I am dying. Oh, it used to feel like that. That was for 2 weeks, and those 2 weeks I didn't take off from work because I'm working from home and I did not have much of work. The third week, when I started feeling a little bit better, there was so much work at work and I was exhausted by the time 4 o'clock hits in. So I used to record. So right now, because I'm working as well as doing YouTube, so I generally try and do my recording after my work, so around 4:30. By the way, on the center of my face, I did use my Tatcha Silk Canvas, the Putty Primer. Now let's move on to the foundation. So I personally thought that, oh my God, this is gonna be so easy. 4 o'clock after the work is done, I can record and all. I must say, I was feeling so exhausted that I could not even get up and come downstairs for recording. That's how much exhausted I was. And this is when kids are not even at home. They're going to school. For the foundation, I'm going to take my LYS Triple Fix Serum Foundation, and this one I'm in the shade TG1. Now this is a tiny little bit lighter on me right now. Maybe it's okay. If it's not, we're going to mix it with the L'Oreal True Match Nude Foundation, and in this I am in the shade 5-6 Medium Tan. So let's see first. So yeah, I thought that, okay, it's going to be easy. Yeah, it is light. I thought that it's going to be easy and yeah, I can handle it and stuff. Oh my God, after this virus thing happened, I was like, oh my God, it's so energy draining. Yeah, but by the time it was hitting 4, my energy used to drain so much. I was oh my God, this is something else. But anyways, so I thought, okay, it's time to record. Now I do not have any videos backed up with me for you guys to have. I generally do have at least 2 videos with me all the time, I would say, from the time I've started doing my channel. So that if I do have any kind of emergency, I do have something with me to upload. But now I'm back to 0. So I thought, yeah, no matter what, I have to record today. And today is Saturday, by the way. So I was yeah, after 2 weeks, my office is starting. I have to go to office. Oh my God, not looking forward to that at all. Yeah, I won't lie. I am very scared of this situation. So, and another thing was when this hit, only me and my younger son, who's 3 years old, got it. My 7-year-old and my husband was absolutely fine, thank God, because there's somebody needs to be fine in the family when the other person is down. Otherwise it's like a mess, especially with like kids around. Oh my God, very thankful for that. But yeah, oh my God, this combination is stunning. The LYS foundation and the L'Oreal True Nude. Yes, note it down. I'm really liking it, because the L'Oreal one is like a serum foundation and the LYS one is like more of like a clean foundation. I really loved the finish that I got by mixing both of them. By the way, if you're hearing something in the background, that's my AC. Try to ignore it. I know it's going to be tough, but try it. For the concealer, I'm going to take my Milani Conceal and Perfect concealer, and this one I'm in the shade Warm Beige. You know I love this concealer, and I'm actually running out of it. It might seem a little dark, which it is because it's my skin color actually, but that's okay. It gives like a beautiful coverage, so I love to use this. But next time when I'm buying it, I would say I would buy like 135, one shade lighter. Now before the concealer starts creasing, let's set our face. And for that, oh my God, I'm loving this powder, and this is from Givenchy, and this is the Prism Leaf powder, and this I am in the shade 4. Yeah, 4. And that's basically for like medium skin tones. What I basically do is, especially underneath the eyes, it's stunning. Okay, so I'm gonna just pat it down underneath the eyes, and instantly you would see like blurring. That's how beautiful the powder is. Can you see that? Like I totally can. And I'll set on the upper eyelid too. I'm gonna do the same thing on the other eye. And then just set the entire face with it. You absolutely need like the tiniest bit for it to set all over your face and to give like a beautiful like smooth finish. For the Valentine's Day look, I don't have anything in mind, but I definitely want like a smooth face, like finish on my face. So I knew that I have to use this powder. My hand is also feeling better. Can you see that? Like for the last 2 videos, I did have like Band-Aid on my hand, and my mom was like, what's happening to your hand? I was like, nothing's happened. I mean, my hand burnt. So that's why I really didn't want to come off on the camera with like that black crusty hand because it was still drying and all. But now the crustiness is gone. So only the new skin is coming. So I can deal with that. Okay, now let's move on to the bronzer. Let's use a cream bronzer. I know I powdered my face. I should have not, but that's okay. I mean, that's how we roll. I'm going to use my M Cosmetics cream bronzer, and this is the So Soft collection, and this one is in the shade Nomadic. You absolutely need the tiniest bit, but I love it. Like, it's so creamy and so blendable. Definitely went crazy here, but that's okay. Let's start with that. Oh my God, all the series that I was like watching on Netflix, on like Indian channels, everything is like finished. If you guys do have anything on Netflix or on Amazon Prime, do let me know. I'm looking for shows to start. I love to like unwind myself at the end of the day, especially when like kids have gone to sleep. That's the only time when I'm like, oh, now I'm free. You know, that's how I feel. Look how beautiful that bronzer is, and it gets such a beautiful dimension on the skin. You might think like it's super dark, but it does blend very well. So yeah, do you guys have any plans for Valentine's Day? How do you celebrate it, especially in this pandemic? How do you do it? Let me know. I cannot wait for this to be over. I really cannot. Now I'm at that situation like, and to go back to my mom. Oh my God, I've not visited her for like 2 years now. Would be 3, would be closer to 3, I would say. Oh my God, I cannot. There's a threshold that I can tolerate, which is crossing, by the way. Okay, now let's move on to the powder bronzer. For the powder bronzer, I'm going to take my glowish bronzer, and this is in the shade Tan Light. And just brush it on my face so that it just easily diffuses. My birthday is also in February, so our February is like pretty packed up, I would say. Like everything just falls back to back. We have a wedding anniversary in January, and then Valentine's Day comes, and then my birthday comes in February, and then we have a break till May. That's when my younger son's birthday is. So this month will also be like jam-packed, but otherwise we're pretty empty, I would say. Let's first finish off with the highlighter. And so for the highlighter, I'm going to take my Makeup by Mario's highlighter in the shade Golden. If you guys know it, you know it. Like how much I'm in love with this highlighter. Okay. Yeah. No words, guys, no words. I actually do have to film back to back. So we'll see how that goes, and if the kids get up or not, because they are taking a nap right now. My older one doesn't take a nap. If you do have kids, let me know, when do they stop taking naps? Like my older one is like 7. He has like literally stopped taking naps. He just reads a book around when it's nap time for the younger one. So yeah, I've just told him, Mama just needs my quiet time. So you need to give me that quiet time, otherwise Mama's gonna get mad. So that's what he does. But if you do have kids, let me know, when did your kids stop taking naps? Or if your kid is like around 7, do they still take naps? If yes, I'm a little jealous. Okay, now for the blush, I'm going to take my Pat McGrath Divine blush in the shade Cherish, because I feel like that is such a Valentine's Day appropriate blush, like such a pinky blush. I'm just going to concentrate it on the high points, because this brush diffuses this blush really well. Because I have more of a rounder face, I basically do place my blushes here on the higher points. But if you have like more of an oval face, and if you want to bring the roundness, I would highly recommend you to put the blush right in the apple of the face. Because mine is round, I don't want to emphasize more of the roundedness. I mean, yeah, how more round it can be? That's the question. And for the setting spray, I'm going to take my Benefits Professional setting spray. I have like the smaller version of it, but I love this sprayer. Like it's so fine and it evenly distributes the spray so well. Love it. Okay, now let's move on to the eyes. For the eyes, I personally feel that I should use Natasha Denona, because why not? And I am looking forward to both these palettes of combining together and make something similar to the new Natasha Denona's the Mini Crush palette. So let's see if that works or not, because I personally feel that the Mini Crush palette can be definitely achieved by using the combination of these two. So then why not? This year, I'm specifically looking for things that I can do so that I don't like duplicate my shades. So help me achieve that, and we'll see till where it goes, because it's only 1 month which is done. So yeah, let's see. I'm going to take this shade, and this shade is called Lyria from the palette, and this is the Coral palette. And I'm just going to concentrate that on the inner third of the eye. I absolutely love this shade from the palette. I I really do. And I often use that shade as a blush too. I should have done that actually today. Now I definitely feel the pink in the Crush palette is basically like this and this mauvey tone combined. So that's exactly what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna apply a tiny little bit of this too on top of it, just so that I can like achieve that same pink look. And once we have that all like blended across the inner third of my lid, yeah, let's go on to the deeper shade. And I feel like the deeper shade that I'm seeing, the center shade in the Crush palette, is very close to this shade. This might be a little more on the deeper side, but I mean, yeah, I can make it work. So I'm gonna apply that on the outer corner of the eyelid, basically like concentrating on your outer V. I'm just placing it. I'm not focused on like blending it right now, but just setting the placement right. Just like that. I'm going to do the same thing on the other eyelid too. I'm going to take the same shade and just blow out my outer corners also of my lower lash line. Just like that. And just blend it all together so that there is like continuity between the upper eyelid as well as the lower eyelid. I'm going to take this mauvey shade from the Mini Love palette. I'm going to concentrate it towards the inner corner of my lower lash line, actually inner third of my lower lash line. The Mini Crush palette is actually a little more on the pinkier side rather than more on the purpley side, and that is the main reason why am I like mixing it with the Coral palette, just so that I can get that pinky look. But I personally feel that the Mini Love palette, it would give you more of a diverse look as compared to the Mini Crush palette. Okay, now once we have done that, the last shade in the Crush palette, I would say it's more of like a red shimmer shade. I feel like that is very close to this shade. I should have shown you a close-up, right? So that you guys both can see both the palettes. Okay, so now let's take that shimmery red shade from the palette. And I'm going to concentrate that on the outer corner of my lid. A little more forward than the deeper shade that we applied, I would say. I actually did see Natasha Denona do a similar look on her Insta. So I definitely wanted to replicate it and see how close I can get. She used Crush palette. I want to use both these palettes and see how close I can get. But by the way, the Mini Crush palette from Natasha Denona has all the shades are already existing in her line. So definitely keep that also in mind. And finally, I'm going to take this shade from the Mini Love palette, that pinky shade, just to replicate the first shade in the Crush palette. But I definitely feel that this is a little more on like a darker side as compared to the Mini Crush. But let's see. I'm going to concentrate that on the inner third of the lid. Another thing to keep in mind is that Natasha Denona's Mini Crush palette does not have like a inner corner or a highlight shade. So I'm just going to take my Coral palette and take the first shade and apply that as my inner corner shade. Now I'm going to finish off my eyes with some liner and mascara. For the liner, I'm going to take my Wet n Wild Break Proof liner, and for the mascara, I'm going to take my Lancome's Monsieur Big Mascara. I'll finish off my eyes and I'll get right back. So once I finish my liner and mascara, let's move on to the lower lash line a tiny little more. I'm going to take this red shade that we applied on the outer corners, on the inner third of the lower lash line. Came as a more dramatic look, I would say. Now for the outer corners, I'm just going to blow out my pencil liner, the black pencil liner that I use. Actually, I did use a black pencil liner, and that is from Essence. This is the Essence Extreme Lasting Eye Pencil in the shade Black Love. And I'm going to take the center shade from the Mini Love palette and just blow out the black shade that I applied. Now, because the first shade in the Mini Crush palette has a little more shine, I'm going to actually take this shade from the Mini Love. This is definitely a duochrome of the pink and the gold. But I'm going to just put that on the inner third of the eyelid, just so that there is a little bit of shine. Just like that. Now let's move on to the lips, finally. For the lip liner, I have to go a little more nude because my eyes are very loud. So for the lip liner, I'm going to take my KKW Beauty's lip liner in the shade Nude 2. And for the lipstick, I'm going to take my M Cosmetics lip cushion in the shade Venetian Rose. Just because it's more like shiny and more of like my lip tone. Oh my god, I love it. Love it. So that's how everything is looking. So let me give you a closer look. I really hope that you guys enjoyed this Valentine's Day inspired look, or I should say Mini Crush inspired look. But yes, I really love the way it came out. The complexion looks really, really good. I definitely loved the combination of LYS foundation with the L'Oreal True Nude. Absolutely loved it. And I love the eye look too. I'm not like big on pinks, but this I'm digging in. So I really hope that you guys enjoyed this Valentine's Day special look. If you did like it, do give it a thumbs up and also subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and ring that notification bell so that you're notified every time that I post next. I generally upload 3 videos every single week, every Monday, Thursdays and Saturdays at 9 AM Eastern Standard Time. Yes, I've changed my days a tiny little bit. So it would be Mondays, Thursdays and Saturdays at 9 AM Eastern Standard Time. Until next time, I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.